Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 7 of the Hot Corner. It's just me today. Alex is dealing with the weather like so much of just the United States right now. Um, Fortunately, Kaleb Freeman is not dealing with weather, so he's able to join us. Caleb, how you doing this evening? Doing well. So coming in, Auburn transfer class. Before we even get into Auburn, what was your experience like transferring in and coming from JUCO to Auburn? Walk us through that process. Yeah, so walk us through the difference between like a day in the life at a JUCO and a day in the life at Auburn. Yeah, so coming in, and it's not just you coming in. I mean, there are a lot of people coming in this Auburn transfer class. What is it like meshing with an entirely new group of guys? Yeah, speaking of that group of guys, it feels like there's only like a couple guarantees with Auburn's lineup, and one of those that Ike Irish is going to hit, and that if Joseph Gonzalez is healthy, that he's going to pitch. But everything else is up for grabs, and there's competition. How do you juggle being a good teammate and then duking it out for playing time? Yeah, I was trying to write the Auburn kind of preview, and it was like you don't know what to expect because you don't know who's going to be out there and what dynamic they bring to the offense, and y'all can go so many different ways, and it's depth is never a bad thing, but it's going to be about trying to figure out who clicks early and who kind of takes opportunities and runs with them. Was there anybody who stood out to you this fall as besides a guy like Ike who has a spot kind of locked in as kind of taking a position and running with it? Yeah. So you're coming in from JUCO, and all of a sudden you're facing an SEC pitching staff in the fall. Was there a learning curve with that? Was there kind of a moment where you're like, that there's not a soft arm in this bullpen. There's no easy at bats here. What was that like? Yeah. Not psyching yourself out is incredibly important because, yeah, at the end of the day, once the pitcher lets go of the ball, it's on you to hit it. Yeah. So, looking ahead at this year's schedule, are there any ballparks that you were personally looking forward to playing at? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it seems like Auburn is a team that historically has kind of just gone under the radar until later on in the year. Last year it was they were actually tied at the bottom, outside of Ole Miss, tied at the bottom of the SEC West for Mississippi with Mississippi State. Then they go on a run. Um, 2 years ago, it was like, oh, they don't have much, and then the transfer portal clicks. It seems like Auburn's just kind of forgotten until y'all just ball out later in the year. Is that kind of the feeling you get in the locker room of like, I everyone's talking about everybody but us. Let's go make noise. Yeah, I mean Auburn has quietly been one of the more consistent programs in the country, and it seems like if y'all get the preseason respect this year, it'd be the first time in a while, even though y'all deserved it for a little bit. So coming in, Butch Thompson, head coach, what is he like behind the scenes? Yeah, I mean, we've never heard bad things come out about the Auburn coaching staff. It's always been, Butch is a guy who can get the most out of his players and get the most out of his team, um, and can work around, injuries and just whatever comes up during the season. Um, so, kind of going back to you, was there anything that over the summer and the fall that you worked on specifically to improve in your game? Yeah, we see a lot of uh, guys who are behind the plate trying to branch out and play a different position. Third is, one of the positions that we see guys go to if they're a little bit more athletic. Some get stuck at first base. Um, was there ever a conversation about you going to third, or was it, when Eric, I believe his last name is Guevara? I don't know if it's Guevara. When he goes down, it was kind of you see that opportunity as playing time, or was it a coach being, kind of asking you to step in? Right. Okay. So for the Auburn fans who might not know what they're getting in a player with you, what would you kind of describe your play style as, and what do you bring to the lineup? Yeah, the only people who care about how you are as a teammate are your teammates, and if they like you there, then that's what matters. It means you're being a good teammate. Um, who are some other guys in the clubhouse who, when you think of a stereotypical glue guy, who jumps out to you? And it's important in that you name two guys who are returning and kind of they're the established Auburn. They're trying to build a locker room core, which is kind of hard to do in a transfer portal environment where they're bringing in so many new guys to have a culture already established. Um, what have you seen from guys like Cooper McMurray and Bobby Pearson, Ike Irish, in terms of just how they carry themselves day to day? Yeah, I had a coach describe that if a player doesn't play with a little piss in his veins, he doesn't want him. So you gotta yeah, it can be the nicest guy off the field, but once you get on the field, it's there's hold nothing back, do anything to try to get the win. So was there a guy on the Auburn staff who kind of had your number this fall? And if not, maybe one of the more uncomfortable at bats. Right. Yeah, I mean, and the Auburn bullpen is nothing if not loaded. I mean, y'all got guys who can come at you with different pitches from different angles, both arms, and there's velo and there's movement. It's not going to be fun for opposing teams to try to game plan for it. Um, so, what would you say that this Auburn team's identity is going to be this year. Yeah, and you had mentioned earlier the tournament y'all are playing in Jacksonville. It's actually where I'm located right now. I live in Jacksonville. Um, y'all played some very good teams in that tournament, Iowa and Virginia. And it looks like you're going to get probably either Brody Brecht from Iowa, and then Virginia always has arms. Um, what is it like? I know you haven't gone through an SEC scouting report or any process of getting ready for specific pitchers. Um, but do y'all even game plan for specific arms that you plan to see, or walk us through that a little bit? Yeah, I was talking with Gavin Casas about how they prepped for Paul Skeens in LSU last year, and he said they turned the jug machine up all the way, and then he actually moved the plate closer and was like, "It's going to be faster than you think it is." So you'll probably see something like that from Brody. He can chuck it a little bit. Um, so just I got two more questions, then I'll let you go so you can watch some NFL football that's going on right now. Um, Student life at Auburn. What are some things that stand out to you about the campus and student life? Were you part of throwing toilet paper on the tree when Nick Saban retired? Yeah, legend of the game, but it's nice to think of those in hindsight and not have to play against them once a year. So, I guess final question, two parter: personal goal for this season, and then team goal. You think? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think y'all are going to be a ton of fun to watch this year. I just hope the entire team stays healthy. I say that to everybody because I'd rather teams go out with their best guys on the field playing their best ball than we lose great players every year to injury. I'd hate to see that. But y'all truly have the depth and talent to be very fun and very dangerous. Fun to watch, not fun to play against. And I think that's y'all's goal. Um, so before we go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Anything you'd like to plug? Uh, it's always the good one. Well, Kaleb, thank you for joining me. I'll let you have the rest of your Monday back, and best of luck this season.